My friend thought that my shirt was Phases of the Moon, but it's the Death Star from Star Wars. People are so uneducated these days. Today, I'm doing another book talk because I finally finished The Evolution of Mara Dyer by Michelle Hodkin. I finished it last night after taking 50 years on this book. This book definitely took me a longer time than The Becoming a Mara Dyer. This is the first book, got Booktalk on it. You can go check that out. But since this is the second one, I can't really say that much about it because it's a sequel, and as you can tell, it's really big. A lot of stuff happened. A lot of really crazy stuff happened. Stuff that I wasn't expecting, and I was very shook last night when I finished the book. I was just like, oh my god, what? Michelle really did that. So if you haven't read this book yet, you don't want me spoiled, I'll leave right now because I'm going to go into some spoilers, so bye-bye! Alrighty, so The Evolution of Mara Dyer. So after, you know, The Unbecoming Mara Dyer, we know that Jude is alive, and Jude is a psychopath. Oh my goodness, you know, I've read a lot of books with crazy people or people in a sense that are stalkers, but this is like for real stalkery. Like, this dude is going to her house and killing a cat, putting blood on her mirror, and watching her as Mara sleeps. Like, it's crazy, and I was terrified. Okay, I was pretty okay while reading The Unbecoming of Mara Dyer. Like, yeah, there's some freaky things, but I'm fine. I'm a brave little chick. But dude, this book freaked me out so much because I don't like horror films, and especially when it comes to like dolls. So like, I've never seen Annabelle because it freaks me out. Like, no, dolls aren't supposed to be scary, okay? They're adorable. But I remember one night a few days back, I was reading and I got to the part about the doll, how Mara, she like walked into her room, and that doll, I think she had already thrown the doll away maybe, or this was how it started, but she sees the doll. This doll is staring at her like hard, and all of a sudden it just like smiles. And it was 11 o'clock at night when this happened, and I thank God it was like the end of chapter, because I was like, oh my god, no. And I did a lot of reading at night for the first book, and I couldn't read any of this at night after that because I was just so freaked out and I couldn't believe it. Like, there were so many times where I turned on my light and I was like, okay, I'm gonna read, but I couldn't do it because I was so scared. And thank God I didn't read at night because some terrifying things happen in this book. It's all Jude's fault. And going back to Jude, I kept going back and forth in the beginning of believing that Jude was alive, but then he was dead. At first I was like, oh yeah, Jude is alive, obviously. But then when Daniel was like, oh, Jude possibly can't be alive because the guy in the police station in the video footage had hands. And guess what? Jude lost both of his hands in the accident. And I was like, oh no. And they said that they like found that too. And I was like, oh, well, they have evidence that he lost his hands. Mara, maybe let's consider this. But yeah, it's Jude. Because he did all these psychotic things, and it's insane that someone can do all of this. And then you find out that Jude is just like Mara and Noah. He can heal himself, but he can also hurt people. Like, I remember he was, oh my gosh. When they went to the docks, he kidnapped Mara because she was watching that video of like the footage from Claire's camera, and I was just like, I was hyperventilating, and all of a sudden she woke up and she was in a trunk of a car, and I was just like, nope. But they're at the docks, and that police officer or whoever shows up, and at first, Jude stabbed himself, and at first I was like, dude, what the heck are you doing? Like, what? But then all of a sudden, the cop started groaning, and I was like, oh my god. Since Jude is in pain, he can inflict this pain on someone else without actually hurting them. And that's what he does later on with Stella and Jamie, and I was terrified. I was just so freaked out. Like, this is scary, man. I know what Mara and Noah can do is terrifying, but like, this is a whole another level because he doesn't have to do anything to hurt someone. If he is being hurt himself, he could just be like, oh yeah, see those people over there? I want them hurt too. And they could just fall to the ground and die. And it's it's terrifying. And speaking of Noah, so good on Noah. I'm still very annoyed by him, but I love him anyway because, like, it's Noah Shaw. And I mean, I just really appreciate what he's doing for Mara and how he stayed the whole entire time. And then later on, when she's at that no-name island place or whatever, she sees Noah. He gives him her anger management, and I'm just like, wow. Wow, what a boy. And when, oh my gosh, when they were on the beach and he said he loved her, oh, it was so good. It was so nice. And it was such a perfect moment. And I was like, and at that point, we know that Mara read the notebook that he's been writing because she was all like, oh, if I go crazy or whatever, or don't remember, blah, 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 just like write it all down. And that's what he's been doing. And she read it, which I was like, good, but also not good because you said you weren't going to read it, so like, whatever. But she's read it at that point, and Mara's just like, oh my god, when I see Noah again, I have to tell him. But then she looks all fancy, Noah's wearing a tux, is looking super fine. I'm like, this is the most beautiful moment. And he just said he loved her, like, this is just going so great. But Mara's still just like, man, I really gotta tell him what I did. And Noah's just all like, no, don't, whatever you gotta say, like, don't do it. And I'm just like, for once, Noah is being right. Like, Mara, don't say what you have to say, but she still said it anyway. And they got to that fight, and I was like, they're always fighting over the stupidest stuff, and I just want them to have one nice moment together. But now we don't even know where Noah is because Noah is deceased. So this end, alright? Jude is being his psychotic little self. He's abusing Stella, Jamie, Megan, and Adam. I'm like, I'm not here for this. And he takes Mara, and I really don't want Mara to kill anyone else because what she's done is bad, even though those people were bad. But like, anyway, but in that moment, when she had Jude pinned down to the wall, I was like, girl, you better kill him. But of course, she had a blackout right then. And these blackouts, so Mara faints and blacks out about 3 or 4 times. And whenever she does, she goes to India, which was very weird. The first time it happened, I was like, why are we in India? Like, what the heck is going on? But then we find out that it's not even really confirmed what has happened. We just know that it is her because that old lady screamed her name. And then in that blackout, she saw the animal, the tiger, and it was getting abused, and she started thinking about how the tiger could get out of its cage and hurt these kids, and all of a sudden it did, and she goes something like, oh yeah, one day my name would be Mara, and I was like, what? But I'm still very confused to the point of those. Like, is that her? Or is it her grandmother? This whole grandmother thing? God, oh my goodness. It's just, everything about this book is insane. And then the end, after she blacks out, the building collapses, and she wakes up, and Dr. Kell's there. Dr. freaking Kells. Haven't you talked about this? So, Noah and Mara, they're in the no-name island place, and they're going through files, and they find footage of Mara in her room, in her house, in all the other rooms, too, on Dr. Kell's computer. And I'm just like, what the heck? Dr. Kells and Jude is working together. What? And then, later on, you know, Mara wakes up. Dr. Kells is just like, hey, how are you doing? And Mara is answering all these answers. But she's like, but I don't want to say these things. So I'm always like, they put some drugs in her to control her, so she would say what they want to say. That was very easy to solve. But Dr. Kells is all like, oh yeah, you know, the building collapsed and you're here, but we just wanted to let you know you've been a part of this blind study because you have this genetic condition that makes you different, and yeah, this is an experiment. That everything that's happened since the asylum collapse, it's all been a part of this study, and I'm just like, are you kidding? Reading that, I was just like, are you kidding me? This is turning into the Maze Runner, except more effed up. And it's crazy that everything that has happened has been calculated. And Jude's not even a part of this. Like, yeah, he's being used because they wanted Mara to get back to the facility so they can continue this study thing. And it's like, what? Well, I thought this whole entire time it's just like some really weird paranormal stuff going on, but no, it's a calculated thing. Like, these people, including now Jamie and Jude and Stella, because Stella can like hear people's thoughts, they're all a part of this shindig, this little blind study, and I'm just like, I did not sign up for this, and it's just, I can't believe it. And now I really, really hate Dr. Kells, and I've actually started the last book, The Retribution of Mara Dyer. I've read 20 pages, and I can't even read it because I'm just like so mad, and it's just very odd. That's all I'm gonna say about it. But I can't believe it. A blind study? Are you kidding? Are you kidding me? But whatever. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. I still really liked this book. I will say, wasn't as good as the first one. I definitely enjoyed the first one more, but I still had a fun time reading this, and I think that's all I have to say because I might just go on a rant if I continue talking. So thank you all so much for watching this video, and I am Courtney, and I'll see you all next time with a new video soon, so I will see you then. So bye!